And of course, welcome to Starwish Entertainment YouTube channel. And I've been thinking of late. I've been doing a lot of music content, and I asked myself, why should I not start sharing also the type of music we make with our viewers outside there? I know we have a lot of young artists who maybe are in one way or the other they are aspired in music production. And basically, I had this request from like three of my fans, and now I've decided to be doing. Whenever we'll be doing some music mastering or maybe making beats, I'll be taking a moment to share it with you guys here. And in one way or the other, we'll be able to learn from each other. So in this video today, I want to tackle song mixing. Of course, it's already recorded song, but I think I'll do another video of when you're recording a song. But what I'm going to do basically today, I'm going to do a video whereby we already have a track inside the mixing software. In this case, we're using Reaper, and we have already added a track on it. Now what I'm going to do basically, I'm going to show you my thinking when I'm mastering a song, and what are the tools that I'm using until I feel the song is complete. Please enjoy yourself, and at the end of this video, I hope you'll be able to learn something. And maybe if you know your way, also let me know in the comment section how you usually do your thing. So let's start. Let's say you've recorded the vocals and it sounds raw. You need to add it. You want to make sure it sounds somehow tasty. So what I do, I come and select auto tune. What I did, let me just show you here because I think the camera is capturing the screen well. I come here and add on the, let's say on the track panel. What I do, I select FX. Let it load. It's going to take a little while. And after that, I'm going to add auto tune. After adding auto-tune, let's say you have auto-tune installed, you have different versions of auto-tune. In this case, I'm going to use auto-tune EFX Andreas, and let me put it to key E and hear how it sounds. Now remember that I have the track muted, I have the beat instruments muted, and I'm only working on the track, maybe to have a good taste of it before I add the beat into it. So let's play this one and hear. In the end of this, there shall be light. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles, but the true Jewish are living in fear. Now, I'm just trying to get something that sounds awesome, but I think that's not that bad. But you always have the option of trying out. You can try out, maybe if you know you sang on which key, you can just go straight and select the key to which you did the song in. And maybe if you're not sure, you can always try out and see. Mostly what works for me when I'm mixing vocals in Reaper, I usually work with C. A key of C usually works well for me in most of my songs. Then on the scales, what I do, I change it to chromatic. And maybe the retune speed, sometimes I leave it at 0. And I humanize 100%. And let's hear how it sounds now. In the end of this, there shall be light. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles, but the true Jewish are living in fear. Now, what I'm trying to do, I just want to, my aim when adding up autotune, I want to make sure it sounds nice without being too complicated or maybe without being too obvious. So I've just added, let's say, one plugin. I've added auto-tune, and I think in this case, I'm satisfied with whatever I've done. In your case, maybe you're trying to do it out. You can try, there are so many options inside that. Just select the key that you want. Make sure you get to whatever intention that you intend to achieve. Try it out. Always don't be rigid with your thinking. Try one thing after the other until you are satisfied that you've achieved your specific objective. Now let me play this with a beat and let's listen to it together. There shall be light in the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles. But the Jewish are living in fear. They don't wanna take the truth. They living in denial. Okay, don't worry about the luggaging. Maybe I'm working it out. It's still on my software. My PC, usually when I'm doing something on my software, maybe it hangs a little bit, but once I finish the project and I export it, it's really going to sound nice. So we are going to stage 2, whereby we've added the auto-tune. but maybe because of this lagging, I think I'm satisfied with the result. Now I'm going to mute the first auto tune, and I'm going to add delay. And this is what I usually do with my delay. Let me show you a little bit. Just look keenly on the screen, and you'll be able to see what we're doing over here. With delay, this is what I usually do, because I'm going to add delay. And what I usually, the aim of the delay, I want to hear some kind of slight reverb, or maybe kind of echo, some kind of echo from the background, but it shouldn't be too much. So in the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles, but the Jewish are living in fear. They don't wanna take the truth. They're living in denial. Root to the snowman, you can see an ocean. So usually what happens when you add the delay is usually on reset mode. But what usually works well for me, I usually select the snare rhythm. After selecting the snare rhythm, then I drag this one. I drag it to, I ensure that the numbers here 24, maybe 0.2 or 24.5, and this is the sound. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles, but the Jewish are living in fear. They don't wanna take the truth. They're living in denial. Root to the snowman, you can see an ocean. You see, from my perspective, the music is already starting to sound nice. That's interesting. So let's do this as the next thing. I've added delay, just the same way I said with the auto tune. Always try this thing out without complicating it too much. With the mixing, is like you see with your ears. The aim is to get a well balanced mixed audio, whereby it's not so squeezed or it's not sounding funny. The voice to some extent should be somehow smoothly sustained. It should be lingering and listening good to each and every person's ear. And as the first mixer, or as the first person working on the audio project, you want to ensure that you achieve exactly that. Now, the next thing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add so far I've added auto tune and I've added redelay. Now what I want to do next, and I think in most of the music mixing softwares, these things are just the same. The skills are the same. Maybe let's say you are using even, let's say, FL, or you are using Logic, or maybe you are using, what's the other one? There are a lot of tools there that are used to mix and master music, but the concept is the same. Whatever I'm going to add here, once you're able to master this, you can even apply it in any tool that you're using, and you'll be able to find some amazing results. So let's go to, after that, let's go to recomp. To some extent, why we adding the recomp, we want to compress the audio. We want to ensure that it sounds somehow nice. So what I do with the recomp, especially when you're using Reaper, I'm going to select the rock snare for the BGR. After selecting that, I'm going to click on the auto makeup and limit output. Let's see how it sounds. I think it's already getting better. And I also select on auto release, then classic attack. Then let's see it all together. In the end of this, there shall be light. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles. But the Jewish are living in fear. I think that sounds amazing. Yes, guys. Maybe if you're new on this video and you're just starting to watch this video, please click on the subscribe button so that you'll be able to follow more of these projects. When you're working on any music project, you'll be able to follow up, and all through we'll be able to learn with each other. Now, what I'm saying is, I've added auto tune and I've added redelay and I've now added recomp. Based on the steps I've explained above, when you're using your tool, just check it out, try moving it forth and back, try to be creative with it. Don't be very obvious, just try come up with new ideas until you come up with something very unique. Now that's amazing. Remember, I'm working on a track, an overall track. I've selected whatever needed. I've undone the part of the audios that I never wanted, and overall I've selected the track and I'm working on the entire project, like not in pieces. And I think that is clear. So after that, I'm going to add the fourth plugin, which is let's say we want to equalize EQ. So in this case, I'm using EQ Cocos. And what I usually do with this one, I select on the notch 50 has sync in, and I'm also going to click on the show tabs. And this one, you can also be flexible with it. You can select on band, or maybe there are a variety of options: high pass, all pass, notch, band pass, band alt, and even low shelf. Now with this one, what usually works for me is it's high pass or band. So in this case, let me use band, and let me play my audio and listen. After that, after adding the band, and I usually click on the log scale automated frequency. In the end of this, there shall be light. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles. But the Jewish are living in fear. They don't wanna take the truth. They're living in denial. Yeah, the music is starting up to cook, and it's really sounding amazing. Now, I think up to this point, we are on the 5th step, and I hope you're able to master. In case of any questions, or maybe you want one-on-one training with how to work on audio or the entire recording process, I'll be leaving my email on the description so that you can reach out. Maybe I also leave my official phone number so that we can communicate, or maybe if you want training on how to work out every step that maybe is not clear to you, I'll be able to take you step by step based on my 7 years experience on working with audio. So guys, let's proceed, and I hope you are still following. And let me add the plugin, which in this case I'm going to add I'm going to add Reefer. Let me see how Reefer is going to work. And remember, I'm just adding all this stuff to make sure I'm having something that is awesome. Now, what I usually do on the mod sector, I select on compress. And what I do, I don't know how to describe that, but I usually do some graphs, something like a graph. So what I did, actually, I just selected the end of that graph. What is it? Looks like some line or something like that, and drag it to the first corner, and I also drag the midpoint somewhere slightly at the edge of the first square, and drag also this one at the middle. Let's say I've dragged it to 500 something, where I've dragged it to where the frequency is written 500. Now what I do with the last point, basically I'm just going to click on 48, and I'm going to set where I'm going to set so I click on where it's written 48 and set. So set, I'm going to put the gain where it's written gain. I think you are able to see it well. Where it's written gain, I usually do this to -45, because I just take half of the 90. Yeah, -45. Frequency, I just leave it where it is. And I reduce artifact. I check on the button written reduce artifact. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click my audio. I'm going to click my audio so that I can hear how the audio is sounding. Let's go. In the end of this, there shall be light. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles. But the Jewish are living in fear. They don't wanna take the. Listen, this thing is starting to sound really dope, guys. It's really dope. So we've added Reefer, and we are going on the 6th stage. This one for me usually includes like 8 or 7 stages. But I think here I'm on the 6th stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on the 6th stage. Yeah, what I usually do here, I want to repeat. Of course, I will retune at the end of everything, but I want to add Re-X comp. It has some smooth touch on the vocals. So what I do with the Re-X, working out this from the Reaper software, Re-X, I select on the something smooth, band smile. Yeah. Let me say what I select here. It's the Grease 3 band smile select. After doing that, select that from the preset of the master Re-X comp band. Now what I'm going to do straight away, yeah, let me hear how it sounds. In the end of this, there shall be light. It's already good. Now I'm not going to check any tab, but I'll do the log scale automated here. Here at the corridor, when you're using your PC or you're using your Mac, you'll be able to see. And I'm going to check the log scale automated frequency, and I'm also going to check on the auto makeup gain. Now what I'm going to do from this point, I usually don't check the solo current band, because when I do that, the audio is going to sound like this. You see, it's some if I select on the solo current, it gives me something like someone is sounding inside the, let me, do I call it inside the port, or maybe it has some phone call effect. So maybe if you want with your editings, you maybe cut a little bit piece of that audio, and you are going to add the re-x count if you want that phone effect. And on the editing, you are going to make sure you select the solo current one, and you might get that effect. Because I don't want the entire effect to appear on the video, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave it at that point and play my audio. See how it sounds. In the end of this, there shall be light. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles. But the Jewish are living in fear. They don't wanna take the truth. They're living in denial. Amazing, some reggae vibe. Basically, I'm going to be on the 7th step. So after adding this effect, because usually when you start adding these effects and you realize that your PC is lagging, it's because of memory issues or something like that. But you could unselect others that you've added. So when you unselect, it will give the PC the ability to process the effects that you've added in. But don't forget to reselect them when you're exporting, because if you forget to reselect them when you're exporting that project, you are going to export some raw stuff that is going to sound messy. Yeah guys, we're proceeding well. I've added lots of stuff. For those who are following, let me know. If you're following, comment 1. If you are together with me, remember the last step is the most important step. So I want you to follow up until we reach on the last step, so that you'll be able just to learn the entire thing. The last step, which is very critical, I mean, it's the export step. But when you master this, you'll be able to do it on your own. You'll be able to play it around on your own. You'll be doing your thing. You'll be creative with this stuff until you get that amazing stuff. So if you're following, comment 1 and we proceed. We're number 6 with the added re-x count. Generally, I like to achieve a balanced stereo. Now at this point, I want to look for a stereo plugin, and on the add effects track panel, I'm going to search on stereo, something stereo, so that I can be able to get a balanced audio on both my left and right ears. So what I get, I'm going to select stereo enhancer. I usually just use that, and cause I don't want to play it, I'ma just leave it at that point. So I've selected stereo enhancer, and I want to compress and limit the entire stuff. That one is now my number 8, because we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are on the 8th step. Basically, after we're done with this video, now we can sum it up. I think it's 8 or 9. I think 9 necessary steps, or 9 necessary steps that you're supposed to follow when mixing your audio as a pro. Man, I tell you, when this thing is done, it's going to be dope, and I swear, just stick around for a while. My good name is Chris Emwish, and I'm the mixer here at Starwish Entertainment, and I hope you're having fun, and I hope you're also learning. So, if you're proceeding, I say we're going to number 7. Now we're going to number 8. Let me count it again. My memory isn't that sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 8. If you're still following, comment 8. So we've added stereo enhancer. What I want to do, I just want to add master limiter. If you just search on the effects track panel, just search on the master, you'll be able to see master limiter, because I don't want some unnecessary noise. This is somehow strategic, because I'm working on the entire project, and I'm applying balanced effects, and each and every bit of the project is going to sound the same. It's not going to be mixed up. So after adding master, or as the 9th step, I'm going to add also another master tone. I've added master limiter, and on this one, I'm going to add master tone compressor. Generally, I like to compress so many times, because It just sounds nice. It's what I do from my original experience. This is what I usually do to achieve the amazing sounds that usually hear on the Starwish projects. Now listen to this. In the end of this there shall be light. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles. But the true Jewish are living in fear. This is amazing, guys. Now we've worked this in almost 8 steps, right? Basically, I've added 8 plugins. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to play the entire track and see what it's sounding like. I don't want to add any other stuff. I like to be simple so long as it's creatively edible and it's sounding lingering to my ear. When I'm exporting, I'm going to check the auto tune because it's making it lag. But for this zone, allow me to copy paste these effects, and I'm going just to select on the backups so that I'm going to use the same effects that I've added, and I'm going to add them also on the backup. If I add them on the backup, so I'm going to click on the backup track panel, and I'm going to drag the effects. You see, I just drag the first plugins onto the backup track panel whenever track, so that I can be able to have the same effects also on the backup. After this, I want to hear how everything is sounding. In the end of this there shall be light. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles. But the true Jewish are living in fear. They don't wanna take the truth. They're living in denial. If you ain't sure of what we've done, guys, I'm going to mute the beat so that we get the audio just the way it is. And remember, you don't need to be confused with the loud and clear mixing. By standard, you want to ensure that the overall track, you have on the FX panel, there is the volume button. You're going to negate it to negative 6 dB. And maybe you also don't want a louder backup. With the backup, you can do, depending on how you sang it. But remember, overall mixing starts by understanding every process, even how you're positioning your microphone when you're recording. What I usually do, I usually negate the backup to roughly -2 higher than the original track. So what I'm going to do -8 dB on the backup track. And yeah, let's listen to everything towards them. That the future is 6 feet down the ground, and it's never gonna take long. So be wise for the truth before you know it. Hey! We must say no to the wickedness of Satan. Open your spiritual eyes to reveal his evil out. We must say no to the wickedness of Satan. I guess every sound engineer can attest that that sound is just awesome. It is very simple, it's clear, it's not that loud. Now, as a person who is you are training in the music industry, you don't have enough money to pay producers because they charge a lot, man. Audio mastering is very expensive. If you need find somebody there, you can just take your time and learn bit by bit, because the fact that you can create your own songs, you can be a producer of your own songs, right? Or maybe you got a beat over the internet and you want to work on it by yourself. If you follow on this and the projects that the steps that I've given from the start to the end now, you're going to be happy, because this is in less than 30 minutes, we've covered the whole mixing. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the entire project and I want you to listen to it. I want you to listen to it and you tell me how it sounds. I'm going to play it just maybe from the beginning, then I'm going to show you the final step, which I said is really critical and I don't want you to miss this. This final step is the mother step, and as a starter, or maybe even some people do it differently. I hope maybe you are going to see the way I usually do it in my songs or the songs of my clients, and you're going to feel it's better. So let's listen to the track. In the end of this there shall be light. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles. But the true Jewish are living in fear. They don't wanna take the truth. They're living in denial. Who to the snowman is against the usher. Nicola is a counterfeit. Misleading the people of God. Right. Now, allow me to do this with the beat, with the instrumental. And we hear it sounds. In the end of this there shall be light. In the corners of the world, even to the Gentiles. But the true Jewish are living in fear. They don't wanna take the truth. They're living in denial. Who to the snowman is against the usher. Nicola is a counterfeit. Misleading the people of God. We must say no to the wickedness of Satan. Open your spiritual eyes to reveal his evil heart. We will say no to the amazing, guys. Now I want to hit on the final step, that is the export. Remember, I said prior that you want to make sure that if by any chance you experience some laggishness on your track, I had to uncheck some effects. Now because I want to export this thing, I'm rechecking them again because I don't want to lose on the, I want to export the entire project with all the effects, right? Now what I usually do, you're going just to hit on file. After hitting on file, you're going to select on render. When you are on render, this is what you're going to do. You need to be very keen because this is now the final step. You need to be very keen. You're going to browse the destination of your song. In my case, I have a folder called Wicked. I mean, it's the name of this track anyway. And you're going to rename your track and browse where you want it to go. In my case, it's local disk E on a folder called Wicked. And under the output format, you want the MP3 version of this, or maybe you want the wave if you want to export it to, if you want to send it to Spotify, or you want it to be on the streaming platform. What they usually do, especially, they usually accept the wave formats only. Now, in this case, we're going to select the MP3, which is the basic format, and don't interfere with any other thing that you don't understand. The easiest way to understand these things, if you don't know anything, you better leave it and under the mount. But in this case, you know you want an MP3 version of your entire project. Now you select on the MP3, in bracket encoded lame project. It's very simple. You can see here. I'm putting it over here. And now. Let me, because I would want to work on it off camera. I'm going to rename this one with my name, Chris M. Wish, Wicked sample audio. Yeah, it's good. I know this could be the final, but I just want to say work on it off camera. I'm doing this for the sake of giving you some examples. So it's Chris M. Wish, Wicked. To cut a long story short, you could name it anything. Wicked sample audio. Then after I've browsed where I want the song to be, that is in E Wicked folder. I'm just going to hit on the render button. It's going to take a while and the song will be ready. So I didn't forget to add my tag. Now, if it's a ready project, make sure you put your tags outside there, because you never know how far this music can go. And I'm really happy if you watch this video from the beginning to the end. May God bless you. If you want to be part of our channel, if you want to support what we do in growing young artists in the industry, I'm going to leave the entire description of what you can do if you want to become a partner in what we do. You can also join our community. You can subscribe so that you'll be notified whenever we're having a new project like this one. Because I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff in music, from vocal training, music mixing and mastering, beat creation, playing of the instruments, how to record, how to create a song. I mean, if you are raw and you don't know the right steps to take, you're on the right platform. Guys, let me know how was your view on the comment section. And if you didn't hear anything, kindly reach out to me in the details I'm going to leave in the description. And you can also do whatever you want by supporting this video. Share it to any artist who want to learn and that's going to be amazing for me. See you on my next video. My good name is Starwish, and we are on Starwish Entertainment YouTube channel, and nothing other than peace and love. Cheers.